Good evening. Tonight, we bring you a story of devastating loss, compassion, and courage. Roseann Sdoia is one of the 24 bombing victims who lost a limb on Marathon Day and now face a different life. You will meet her in a moment. But first, these other headlines. Bishop Robert McManus pled not guilty to misdemeanor DUI charges today. The leader of Worcester's Catholic diocese was arrested this weekend in Rhode Island for allegedly causing a car accident while intoxicated. And with showers and thunderstorms expected to roll in tomorrow, city workers removed paper items left as memorials in Copley Square. The city says the items will be preserved in its archives. And now our feature story. Roseann Sdoia was cheering on some of her friends at the finish line on Marathon Day, a day that turned her life upside down. Her right leg was amputated above the knee. We spoke with her today at Spalding Rehabilitation Hospital. Roseann, first of all, tell me what physical therapy is like.
It all is very physical, even the occupational therapy, making sure I could do the typical things that you would normally do every day, brush your teeth, shower, get around in the bathroom. This new facility here is phenomenal. They have a mock apartment that you go to, and you can see how to move stuff along the counters in the kitchen if you're on crutches. Getting in and out of the shower, out of like an actual tub, get up and off the bed if you need to.
How bad's the pain?
Right now?
Yeah.
It's like a 3 to 4. They take you through doing weights and building your core muscles, and then physical therapy does that. There's some stretching that we usually start with, making sure that the muscles are limber, and then go through doing different arm exercises and balancing to make sure that I can balance on my left leg. It's a lot.
And is some of it directed at your right leg too?
Yeah.
And what do they do for that?
Yeah. A lot of lifting, they'll put weights on it, and we'll do side lifts, make sure that this stays in shape as well.
So take me back to Marathon Day. What had you been doing earlier in the morning?
Same thing I've done for like the last 15 years. It's been one of my favorite days in Boston. And I get a little emotional about it because I don't know if it'll be my favorite day next year. But same thing I've done every year. Go to the Red Sox game with friends. And it was a beautiful sunny day. We walked over to Boylston Street and went to one of the local bars there that we've gone to again for years, and knowing that different friends were going to meet up there later. And got notification that one of our friends was close to coming down Boylston Street, so we ended up going out to watch the race, and was standing along the road and just, cheering on the runners and waiting. And it was just really weird. Within a matter of a couple minutes, the first bomb went off, and it was just really strange because, again, I've done this for so long. They've never had guns or cannons or, something to salute the runners. And there was just the pop, pop, and it was literally at my feet. I thought they were more like grenades being kind of thrown in, but just because it was like, I thought it was like hitting the ground, or it came from the ground. And then I just remember kind of not knowing what was going on.
So the second one was what hit you?
Exactly, yeah, I was in the second one. And
Did you realize right away you were hurt?
I want to say yes and no, because I think it was just so surreal that I think my brain said you're hurt, but then I wanted to run, but I was on the ground and couldn't run. And I knew I couldn't run. I guess I must have yelled for help, but it was kind of like a dream where you think you're yelling for help, but you don't hear it come out. And I probably didn't hear it because of the explosion and the bomb, because I have hearing loss in one of my ears. So, and kind of like looking around, it was people were running, people were like zombies, it was like you were immediately in a bad movie and starring in it. And then some guy at the time that I didn't know, or some kid who I've recently met, saw me, and for whatever reason he was drawn to me, and he's like, "You have to get out of here." And he pulled me to the street, and then people started to help me. But I mean, I had seen the blood pouring out.
Did you know your leg was gone?
I didn't think I had a leg, and I kept, you know, when he came over, he's like, "You got to get up." I'm like, I don't have a leg. I can't get up. And I guess I had a leg still. And when he was carrying me, I could feel it. I could feel things, and we got to the middle of Boylston Street, and another gentleman came over and was helping him do the tourniquet on my leg, and I just kept my eyes closed and I kept conscious. Part of me wanted to, like, just let go, but I knew if I went unconscious that I probably wouldn't live. So I just kept, I'm like, you have to stay awake, and I just kept breathing. Police showed up. This Officer Shayna really she held my hand as they were straightening out my leg and getting me on a board, and she told me, she's like, "You're going to be okay, you're going to be okay." And she told me I had a leg. She's like, "I don't know what condition it's in, but you have a leg," and was really kind of talking me through just staying with them. I didn't want to see what was going on. From when I was on the sidewalk, and I did look a quick glance around, and from what I saw, I didn't want to see anything else. Like, I knew it was not good.
When was the first time you realized you didn't have a leg?
In the hospital. They took me to Mass General. My doctor, Dr. King, ran the marathon. He ran it in 3 hours and 10 minutes, got the page of the situation, and ran to Mass General. He didn't drive. He physically ran to the hospital. And I was one of the first ones that he operated on. I don't think I knew fully about the leg until after they did some operations. And I mean, I was all medicated, but they did tell me that I was going to have the leg amputated.
They told you that before you went to surgery?
Yeah. And again, I was highly medicated. So they said they were going to try to do it below the knee, but they weren't sure if they could do that or not. And being medicated, I asked him if he could make it look pretty.
Roseann, most people are going to be looking at you and saying, "I cannot imagine going to the marathon on a beautiful day with friends, Red Sox game, stopping at a bar for a brew, and coming back without a leg."
It's still surreal. I still don't comprehend. I mean, I get emotional about it, but I still don't comprehend what happened. I don't, like, I have to say it numerous times that I was in a bombing. I still don't realize I don't have a leg. I still don't realize this is lifetime. This is not like a 3-month process that, you know, I guess back in the back of my head, I do know I'm going to have a prosthetic and I'm going to be walking around and fine again. So I haven't really, and I don't know if I will, because I think by the time I have it seems everything moves very quickly. I'm going to have a prosthetic and I'll be walking around like a normal person again. So I don't know if my brain is just saying this is a temporary disability and I'll be good again. I mean, I guess I know that there'll be struggles with it, with the prosthetic, but I'm in a good spot. Some of the other people that are here are really injured, like badly injured, between burns and skin grafts. And I mean, I had some burns on my hand. It's peeled. It's fine. I didn't have to go for skin grafts. So out of the people that are here, I feel like I am lucky. I lucked out. I've got minor injuries is how I look at it.
Are you angry? I mean, have you been following all the stories about these people? And
minor. I honestly have watched TV for maybe a full hour in the last 3 weeks. And some of it's been light, fluffy stuff. I'm just starting to get into watching the news. So I know a little bit of what's gone on. And some of it, I have a friend who's on the SWAT team, so I do know some of what went down in Watertown. But I haven't really followed it a lot. As for anger, I haven't had that yet. And I don't know if I will, because it happened. They did what they did for whatever reasons. I don't know. But anger is not going to get me anywhere. It's not going to cure anything. It's not going to do anything to them. It's going to set me back. So I've only looked at just doing what I need to do to get out of here and get myself home. I just really want to go home.
As you know, Ken Feinberg, who's handling the Boston One Fund, was here in town yesterday, and last night he met with a lot of the families. I don't know, maybe you had a representative there. Is that odd in a way?
Yeah, I find it, again, surreal. I have a friend of mine that I went to high school and college with, and a sorority sister, and between the One Fund and then this friend, she set up a fund for me in an individual fund, and it's just, I just find it crazy. I appreciate it. There's a lot of gratitude to everybody who's donated. I'm in a good spot, but I know some of the people that have been injured. You know, the Adrienne, who's the ballroom dancer, she relies on her legs as her livelihood. Some of the other people that have been injured are, you know, in the carpentry and roofing industry. They rely physically on their bodies to do their work, and I think it's a great thing that they've done, and I think that people will really benefit from it that really, really need it. And I know somewhere along the line I'm going to need it. I have no idea what these medical bills, between being in Mass General for a week at the ICU, coming here, I'm, you know, been here for 2 weeks and I'm not getting out until next week. The prosthetic itself, I understand, can range easily anywhere from $20,000 up to $100,000. And it's just, I mean, there's going to be so many medical expenses that the fund is really going to come into play.
Are you planning to go back to work?
Yes. I just don't know when. My work has been fantastic. I work for a phenomenal company. I've been there 10 years. And they've all come to visit me. They took a great group photo out in front of the building, hung a banner for me. And I'll go back. I haven't decided yet. I need to get to my apartment. I need to get home and really see where I am with that, and then get back into my routine, and work will be a routine, but I need to do it in baby steps.
Well, I'm sitting here looking and thinking, now what would terrify me most? Learning to drive again, or not being able to play tennis? Do you have something that... The
driving is a little scary, but I've had numerous people that tell me that I can use my left foot.
Yeah.
And then I've heard of different things that you can put in your car to adjust the driving, or have it altered. So I'll drive at some point, but I think to me that's the scariest thing.
And is there something you're just going to say, wow, I won't be able to do that again?
No, I haven't really thought of anything that I won't be able to do. I think there will be, and I think that'll be a downtime when I hit it. But everything I've been so positive just because I have to move forward. I can't, there's no way to look back and say anything negative about it, or I can't do that, or I can't do this. I'm going to try to do whatever I can do that I did before.
You thought about, you don't know how the marathon would be for you next year. Will you go back? Do you have any,
I don't know.
Run it? Do you want to? You don't know.
I don't know. I'll deal with that when we get closer to it. I really want to.
But
yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Roseann, thank you so much.
Thank you. Meeting different people and doing these interviews help. I think for me, it's a therapy to talk about it, and for people to understand that it's not all bad. I mean, it was a bad situation, but it's going to be good, and I'm good. I'm really good.
She was really amazing. Roseann Sdoia says being at Spalding is like being at a private spa. Still, she's anxious to get back home and reconnect with her pets. If you'd like to see my complete interview with Roseann and an interview with her doctor, go to WGBHnews.org. Roseann is one of the hundreds of marathon bombing victims who will be assisted by the One Fund. If you'd like to donate money to help aid victims, go to onefundboston.org.